Hey, thanks for listening to Sorry, Please Continue. This episode was recorded at the Bardstown in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was one of the stops in our 2017 July tour of the Midwest, and it is a lot of fun. People tell stories about fights. They got in some crazy fucking fights, and these stories are amazing. I'd like to thank Dan Alton for helping us find all these storytellers. He was really great. He's the one that introduces us at the beginning. Telling stories, we've got Amanda Hay, Jamien Tomlinson, Cindy Hindrichs, Sean Smith, and Kate Sedgewick. And all of these stories are crazy. Like, they're all so good. They just keep getting crazier and crazier as they go on. Like, it just builds and builds and builds. I laughed really hard, both during when I was not on stage and when I was on stage during this episode. It's so much fun, and that's a really cool venue. They do like dinner theater and stuff there, so we were on like an actual like theater stage, which was really cool. But yeah, thanks for listening. I guess I should mention the storytellers. It's me. My name is Jeremy Hellwig. My co-host from St. Louis, Kenny Kynes, and then the two co-hosts of the Cleveland edition of the podcast, Chris Warnowski and Tim Cornett. And it was really fun traveling with them. Yeah, thanks for listening. If you live in St. Louis, we've got a show coming up at the Heavy Anchor on Wednesday, what month is this? September 27th. And then that Friday at 7 p.m., we're going to be in Kansas City at Uptown Arts Bar. So if you know anyone that lives in either of the two main cities in Missouri, tell them to come to the show that week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we've got some other upcoming shows that we haven't announced yet, so just keep listening to various episodes until I tell you about them, or go like our Facebook page, or go to sorrypleasecontinue.com. Okay, I'm tired. I'm done promoting. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Sorry, please continue.
Thanks for coming out to the Bardstown, everybody. Oh, you can hold it. All right. I'm nothing. I'm just the guy saying the name of the thing. But I like that this is where we're starting out. You know what I mean? I'm just saying names. There's going to be stories and comedy. It's going to be great. All right. But thanks for coming out to the Bardstown, and let's put your hands together for the stars of the show, all the way from Cleveland, St. Louis, and the internet. Sorry, please continue.
I just gave the worst in the history of handshakes.
Whew. Hip-hop handshake.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is Sorry, Please Continue. If you've never seen the show before, which I'm assuming you haven't, we haven't done it.
We've never been here.
Nope. What's going to happen is people are going to come up here and tell stories about a theme, and the theme tonight is Louisville Sluggers.
Hey, fighting, right? We love it.
Fighting or manufacturing baseball bats, either one. We were really cute with the local themes. And then we're also going to be up here with microphones, us and our other co-host, and we're going to hopefully add to the show with questions and jokes, stuff like that. Over here on the left, let's give it up for co-creator of the show, Chris Warnowski.
Thank you.
Yay.
And then right here, this guy and I co-host the show in St. Louis. Let's give it up for Kenny Kynes.
Yay.
And I'm Jeremy Hellwig. Hey, guys.
Yay.
Woo. So any of you guys have any stories about baseball bats or fighting?
I did see an inordinate, it was weird because we were downtown earlier today, just like looking around the city and everything, and it's like, oh man, like, do people get really aggressive with all those mini bats that they buy at that Louisville Sluggers place downtown? Because I was like, this would be a bad place if drunks got out of control. Like, I don't want my car unattended for too long down here. I honestly don't, like, it was weird. I've never been in a fight. So I've been punched, but I've never, like, my best friend punched me on the school bus one time to impress a woman.
Who hasn't? right?
Demonstrating the trajectory things could go. Things could go real bad the rest of his life.
Right.
Get on board.
And it's like, I don't think he ever dated or hooked up with that woman, so I feel like I was sacrificed for nothing.
That guy's entertainment, right?
What's that?
It was that guy's entertainment. It was worth it, right?
I guess.
To punch you in the face.
I mean, he moved to Colorado and does meth, so I win.
Yeah.
Sometimes you wait a long time to win a fight, I guess.
Right on.
What about you guys?
No, I don't fight. I'm too delicate.
You do jujitsu, though,
I
right?
I did do jujitsu for about a year and a half, and I realized I don't like people laying on top of me when I can't breathe. Which I found out for $150 a month is basically all jujitsu is. So I did that, but no, I don't really fight. I do look intimidating because I'm bald, and that's pretty much it. So that's about as much fighting as I do.
I don't really have any fights.
Yeah.
So it's like you, like someone's thrown a punch before, but not in an interesting story. There was no hero's journey.
Yeah.
There's none of that.
You and I are like inherently punchable too. It's amazing.
Right?
It's amazing. Like people try to pick fights with me a lot. Like anytime a guy walks into a bar shirtless, I'm like, that guy's gonna fuck with me. And it's like I've got that face, and it happens 100% of the time.
I guess I did almost pick a fight at the movie theater a couple months ago. I told you about that. I went and saw Logan, and this it was me, my wife, this woman, and then that woman's boyfriend. And that woman kept checking her phone for text messages, and it was vibrating in the cup holder. And like I heard it apparently was happening the whole movie, but I heard it once, and I was like, that happens again, I'm saying something. And then during like the emotional climax of the movie, it buzzes, and I go, hey, turn your fucking phone off. And then I just look back at the screen, and her boyfriend goes, what did that guy say to you? Huh, what did he say to you? And at the end of the movie, I turn to my wife, I go, that's so fucking rude. She needs to get kicked out of this theater and not come back. The guy goes, were you talking to my girlfriend? I go, no, I was loudly talking about her. It's not the same. And then he goes, yeah, well, and then he stands up, and I'm like, is he gonna punch me while I'm sitting here? Like, what is this? I just like chuckle at him, and he goes, don't ever talk to my girlfriend again. I go, I don't want to. What is this? And then he left.
I like how you won that fight with semantics. You were like, yeah. I wasn't talking to her. I was talking about her, sir. Read the fine print.
And I told Jeremy he looks like the kind of guy that, like, when the police show up, they always believe, right? So, sir, tell us what you saw. It obviously happened.
You guys ready to get your first actual storyteller of the night up here? Let's see. Let's make some noise for Amanda Hay.
Hey!
Hello, Amanda. Thank you for coming. You can sit, stand, take the mic out. You can do whatever you want.
You got a variety of choices. I don't know why
yeah,
we
we
have
like
stools.
Throw
There's
that stool in the audience. Keep in line with the show.
Yeah, I'm short. The tall stool terrifies me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, just make sure you get into the mics.
Just 'cause we're
we are
recording
recording. Yeah, there you go.
Like up against it.
I have a younger brother who's he's 3 years younger than I am. And I was awful to him for our entire childhood. I'd start stuff all the time. I'd pick on him. I had him convinced till he was about 4. The reason we didn't have a dog, Mom and Dad wanted a Springer Spaniel, but they didn't want to pay to have fencing put around, so we just had him instead.
What's his name? Springer S. Whatever your last name is.
So one time the babysitter's over. I was like, hey, let's play hide and go seek. We'll have the babysitter seek. I have a great hiding place for you. And so I folded him up into the pull-out couch. Like, we unfolded it to make it a bed, and then he got in there, we folded it and put the cushions back. I was like, okay, be really quiet.
That's why the futon was invented. Too many kids got lost for weeks.
So you call her the babysitter downstairs, like, where do you think Rob is hiding? And she's like, I don't know. And she sits down.
Be really quiet. Try not to suffocate.
And so she hears, woo, 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 and she realizes he's in the couch, and she panics and starts yanking on it to try to, undo the sleeper sofa. And all I'm doing is at the end of the couch yelling, breathe shallow.
Oh, man, you've done this before.
This is like Kill Bill when she's digging out of that grave.
Yeah, exactly. The poor kid,
This story should be titled "A Prelude to a School Shooting." Like I feel like I've seen this story unfold Unlike that couch. God damn. I'm on fire. Let's shut the show down.
All right, so our whole childhood, like, I always started stuff, and I kind of pick on him and stuff. So this story stands out in particular because he had enough of my shit, and he decided to start something himself. So Saturday morning, Mom and Dad are out of the house. They're gone somewhere. I'm sitting in the dining room on the computer, very early internet, so, dialed into Prodigy or something like that. And if I'd seen him coming and I'd seen what he was wearing, I would know to have my guard up, because he was wearing his little brown bathrobe. And the problem with that is, when he wore this robe, he pretended he was a Jedi. And so he's in a mindset.
Wait, how old is he and how old are you at this point?
37.
Well, at this point, he's 12 and I'm 15.
All right. So whenever he put that brown robe on, he had self-esteem, and you were like, no.
Hey, listen, there was a ninja movie he used to watch. He had a full ninja outfit from Halloween.
Yeah, he felt good about himself.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah. So he's in there behind me, and he's wearing and I didn't see this. My back's to him. And so he comes in, and he gets right behind me, and he takes a copy, one of the volumes of the encyclopedia, and he hits me in the back of the head as hard as he can and runs. And he hit me so hard, my whole face flies forward, mashes into the keyboard. I don't even have the keys off of my face before I'm spinning around and
Keyboard
running.
of a computer, or were you playing a piano?
A computer. I was at the computer.
Okay, I forgot.
That's for the sectional.
By the way, what an intersection of technology. You were hit with an encyclopedia that ruined your Prodigy experience. Right? Do you remember what letter it was?
What letter?
What letter of the encyclopedia he hit you with?
No, it was
P for payback.
No, but he whichever one it was, he picked the biggest one. That one, okay. So now here's the dilemma at this point. I'm gonna beat him senseless. That's what's gonna happen. But he's faster than I am.
But he's hid the other letters of the encyclopedia, probably inside the couch.
Folded out, all the Britannica there. So I have to catch him, and I can't catch him. If he gets outside, it's over. He'll run through the yard, go in the woods, hide there till Mom and Dad get home.
Because like you said, there's no fence.
Yeah, exactly, because there's no fence in the back, so just shoot straight out. So I have to catch him within confined spaces within the house. And he's just past my fingertips. Like, I could reach out and grab the hem of that little shitty robe, but I can't quite. He's just beyond.
You're like Buffalo Bill and Jodie Foster at the end. Lights are out. She's almost.
Amazing where a 15-year-old found night vision goggles, but
You're resourceful. He's a Jedi.
So he goes flying downstairs, and he goes to the sliding glass door, and he's almost gone. He's almost done it, and he's cackling. He's laughing so hard. At this point, he's almost cackling, and he's saying this phrase that he used to say when he was a little kid, just worked my nerves. He said, "He can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man." I don't know why.
Whoa! All right. So wait a minute. How many people has your brother killed in the past? I don't know. 5 years.
Sure, you laughed at my school shooter theory earlier, but now it's slowly yes.
Denzel Washington.
Spoiler: he's very well adjusted.
Yeah. We don't know that. He can say anything. Yeah, he's the president of the United States now. Why not? Why not?
All right, so he's almost at the door. He's almost out. He's going to hit the yard, get to the woods, and that's it. Except he forgot my mom's low-rent security system, which is a sawed-off broom handle in the track of the sliding glass door.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she got it from ADT too, huh? So yeah, okay, yeah.
So he opens the door. It goes a quarter of an inch and goes ka-chunk, and it stops. So he knows the score at this point. So all he does is spin around, put his hands up, fall to the floor while screaming, "Not the face!"
As a younger sibling, I know that move.
Wow, yeah.
He's like, hit me in the back of the head like I did to you. I'm not yet aware that is worse.
Hey, not in the moneymaker, lady.
It's actually brilliant that he hit you with an encyclopedia, because nobody's going to believe somebody got hit with an encyclopedia after 1985, right? It's like, what did you call us on your telegraph? Really, lady? Nice try.
Yeah. he. I tell you what, that carrier pigeon dive bombing. He trained it that way. It's unreasonable. Well, so he turns, he falls to the floor, and at that point, all that I have left to do is beat him until my hands hurt, and then go back upstairs and get back on the computer. He is very well adjusted. He lives in Austin, has 2 boys of his own. I promise you, he got much more out of hitting me with the encyclopedia than this particular beating. So it turned out okay.
Now he just beats people with encyclopedias for a living now.
Are you still on Prodigy?
No, I've gone on to AOL.
Amanda Hay, everybody.
Woo!
I guess switch out.
We're going to bring up, normally we do this show in 2 cities, and there's 2 of us and then a rotating comic. When we go on the road and we combine our powers, we rotate interrupters. So here is Cleveland's own Tim Cornette, everybody.
Woo! I just ran up and down the stairs 12 times during her story.
It's okay.
You guys ready for your next storyteller? Let's make some noise for Jamien Tomlinson.
Keep making that noise. Keep making that
Yeah,
noise. Making that noise. There he is. Boy, that was harrowing.
How are you guys?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. So I'm
thanks
gonna
for being
tell.
on
I have this really great ability. I get punched in the face like once a year. I'm also one of those people that.
So you
that
know.
I have a punchable face. Yeah, I totally know how it goes. But this is.
I was about to say, but I thought it would be rude.
Are you gonna punch me after this?
We'll just have to wait and see how the story goes.
So this is 2014, the time I got punched in the face. I was living in Portland, Oregon at the time, and
Whoa, I want to punch you right now.
whoa,
I'm just kidding.
He got out.
I was living in Portland, Oregon.
Wait,
at the time.
I've lived in Portland. What did you have to do in Portland to get punched? Did you not recycle? What did you? Paper and glass in the same recycle container? Is that what get you?
Well, I actually was hanging out at a bar called the Sandy Hut. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, on Sandy.
Yeah, they actually Sandy Hut is the worst bar you could possibly go to.
Interesting fact, right outside of that bar is where that hate crime on the train took place a couple months ago.
Whoa.
Just to paint the picture.
Just brought that room down. That's
Just some shading.
So I was hanging out at the Sandy Hut, and the Sandy Hut is the kind of place they actually sell panties there that say "handy slut" on them. That's the kind of bar, just to paint the picture of it. And I was on my 2nd beer for the time, and I had a really bad country accent because I grew up around here. And went to the bar and tried to order a beer, and the bartender looked at me and she said, "You're slurring your words. You're cut off." I said at the time I think I talked to Liz. I said, "Miss, I'm just country." You know.
Wait, in the last 3 years, you've gotten rid of that much accent?
If you,
Or does the end of the story, you get punched and you wake up and you talk different?
Both.
the original version of My Fair Lady was mostly alcohol induced, like.
Where would you like me to bring your beer? On the street where I live.
It rains on the plane in Spain.
Do you want this tequila?
So anyways, I ordered. I don't even know how to reply to that. So I tried to order a beer, and she said, "You're slurring your words. This is my 2nd beer." I said, "No, I'm not." So anyway, she's like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. You're slurring your words." Meanwhile, the guy next to me is literally passed out on the bar next to me. Of course, it's the Sandy Hut, and it is not cut off yet. Has a beer in front of him. So I'm really pissed, and I said, "Look, I want some." They had frozen White Castle sliders there, so I ordered those, and
Boo.
Yeah.
I bought those.
Also,
They're
a fine
awful.
way to prove you're not drunk.
and a pack of cigarettes, and I go outside.
You're like, "Do you have any Totino's pizza rolls?"
So
I want a hot dog, no questions.
So I step outside with my microwavable White Castle and my pack of cigarettes, and then I'm packing my cigarettes, and this 65, maybe 70-year-old homeless man walks up to me and he says, "Give me a cigarette." And at that point, I've had a horrible day, and the homeless population in Portland's like so terrible, anyways. And he says, "Give me a cigarette," and just like strikes a nerve with me, and I say, "No." And he looks at me and he says, "Fuck you." And I was like, "Well, fuck you too." And so
You fell into his trap of responding to him.
So we start arguing. We go back and forth. We're arguing, and he shoves me, and I shove him back. And I was like, "All right, let's do this." And this 7-year-old man takes off running. I'm like,
That's got to be a kind of a good feeling.
"Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah." I'm like,
Unless it's one of those things where it's like in the movie where the monster runs away because there's a bigger one behind you.
You wanna see what kind of thunder having a home will give you? Come on, old man, let's go. I ate this morning. You wanna go?
Body's just full of protein. I'm ready to fight.
so anyways, I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna let this go. So I get in the back, my buddy's driving, I get in his car. I'm like, all right. So I get in the car, and this guy runs towards me again, and he starts yelling at the window. I'm like, fuck this guy. I'm gonna go out and argue with him again because I've only had 2 beers.
You're already in the car.
I had to get out. He was starting it. So I got out of the car. I got out of the car, and I started arguing with him again, and we started pushing each other again. And I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's fight. And he took off running again.
By the way, he was starting it is how the best police reports begin.
What you guys don't know is that when a homeless guy pushes you, he also puts all his belongings on you.
Hey, it was my word versus his. So we start arguing. I go to fight him again.
But your words are being slurred at this point.
I said, I'm going to take you. But I go to fight him again, and he takes off running. So I get back in the car, and he comes back a third time. And at this point, I'm like, fuck it, we're doing this. And I look at him, and I say those exact words. I said, fuck it, we're doing this right now. And he looks at me, and he turns around to run, and then he turns back around, and I swear to God, he threw the biggest haymaker and punches me straight in the fucking neck. And I just looked at him. It was like that scene from The Wedding Singer where that old man punches him outside of the bar, where he says, I used to be stronger.
It's like that scene and then an old man punched you outside a bar. I like how you said it's like that scene in the movie where, and then you just gave a synopsis of the story so far.
and he punched me in the neck, and I looked at him and I said, have a cigarette. I feel really bad from you. And that was our fight. I was like, just get the fuck away from me.
The slow roll victory of giving him lung cancer.
Oh, man. Did you have to give him your home after that, after he beat you?
Yes.
Have you considered how many other people he has punched for cigarettes now?
I don't know. Maybe he's a serial puncher.
There's like a conditioned response now where he just thinks that if he punches anybody, he gets a cigarette.
It's Portland. Who knows?
It's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon where all he sees is a bunch of cigarette vending machines walking around.
I'm just going to neck punch anybody until I get a cigarette.
Newport.
And that's the time I got into a fight with a 65-year-old homeless man. So.
Give it up for Jamien Tomlinson, everybody.
I'll sit out this one. Bring Kenny back.
We're
Bring
getting
Kenny back up.
here.
I'm going to sit out this next one. So here's Kenny Kynes again.
Kenny Kynes.
And keep that applause going for Cindy Hindrichs. Sorry, Hindrichs. Yeah, my phone says it's misspelled, and I'm guessing it is. Which means it's misspelled.
That's so diplomatic. It could be more wrong.
You added like 4 last names into that one last name. Yeah, that was funny to me, and only me.
It was hilarious. I totally got it. Okay, hi.
Hello. So when did you fight?
I actually fought on my 28th birthday, but there's like a story I need to tell ahead of time because 1, it makes me look good, and 2, you have to know the background of this story. So, like I said, even my 28th birthday, I connect again with my old college roommate, Derek, and he convinces me to come up to his house and come party with him. So I'm like, sure, whatever. I don't have anything better to do because I'm kind of a loner and a little bit of a loser, so whatever. Let's go up there and have fun. So I go up there, and I meet him and his girlfriend. So we go out and start drinking and have a good time, and I start to get this distinct feeling that this woman does not like me. She likes to, she's throwing shade, as the kids like to say. So she's being she's like.
Do they say it like that?
Bitch, you should probably just die, and kind of things like that.
Oh, so she's not really being subtle.
She's not subtle. She's like, you should. Why do you exist? Kind of.
So do you think she's just jealous that her boyfriend has
no. So here's the story.
Oh.
The day before, Derek totally meatloafs her.
Wait,
hold on.
Back up.
Hold
You
on.
say shade like the kids like to say, but then you drop meatloaf on us
I think that
with no explanation.
You mean he said
you didn't get meatloaf, did you?
Yeah.
You mean he finally found the thing he wouldn't do for her in a relationship?
He sang a really high note and his nose started to bleed. We've all been there, right?
So the girl wants more, and he basically says, I want to hang out with you. I love fucking you, but I'm not gonna marry you.
That's meatloafing?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that.
I need you, but I just don't think I
Anymore,
no.
this is karaoke.
I know.
That sounds more like Cheap Trick.
2 out of 3 ain't that. It's probably true.
Right?
So
He just confessed something to her about the dashboard light. That's what he did.
Well, okay.
His name was Robert Paulson. Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? Okay? There we go.
So anyway, so I find that out and I feel bad, and so we continue to drink, and we end up in the bathroom together, and I'm like, girl, if he doesn't love you, you're cute, you can get more dick, don't worry about it. I'm just like,
In my mind, that's what should be called meatloafing.
Right?
that's probably true. Get
Also,
him in
I want to know what woman walks around not thinking she could get more dick.
there. Oh wait, we
I mean,
don't.
really?
We don't. I didn't.
Really?
Know. Yes. No, I did not know you could walk out as a female and get laid any minute until I started listening to comedy.
It's almost like having like memento disease. You're like, you just forget a power that you have.
I mean, I don't
true.
know how things are from a woman's perspective, but it does seem like you're walking through a garden of dicks.
I don't realize when people are hitting on me ever, so maybe that's just me. But anyway, so.
But you know when you want to fight them, though, right?
Oh, well,
Right.
yeah. So anyway, my friend Derek brings another guy into the scene.
Oh,
and
my
so
God. Derek is a pimp.
Derek, yeah, he hooked it up. So I'm sort of macking on this dude, and we start going on. And I almost feel like I'm macking on him to make her feel good. Like, hey, I don't want to fuck your dude. I'm going to fuck this guy.
Derek so far is a great friend to everybody in this
story.
story.
I know.
Come on up for my weekend. We got some drugs. Have some dick. And to his
Well-
friend, he's like, I got a friend for you. College roommate. It seems like this
Yeah.
bitch is
Let's go
Beyonce.
meatloafing with Derek.
Yeah. Meatloaf was there.
So, well, Derek's a cop, so there's no drugs, or at least not that he knew of. I know.
We just
Such a
destroyed
bowner.
Derek's image.
Oh. So anyway, we go back to Derek's house to go in the hot tub with the couples.
He's got a hot tub. Are you fucking... He's Meatloaf and he has a hot tub.
He brings it. Yes,
Does this dude really exist?
He wants to, yes. So anyway,
This
me
is-
and the dude leave.
We also showed up in his plane. How about that?
Then there was a rose ceremony at the end of the night. It was weird.
This is Steve Gutenberg. I don't know why. This is funny to me.
So in the hot tub, Derek and the girl are just fighting. So me and the other guy decide to leave, make out, do whatever, and we hear this. And like all this fighting and stuff, and then like we go out to see what's going on, and Derek kicks the girl out. And so we go out back to the hot tub.
Like, when you say kick the girl out, is he like, leave and never darken my door again? Or is he like, ah!
It was like it was an assisted leave. Yeah, it was an assisted leave.
You got great euphemisms in this story.
So we sit back there and we're talking to Derek about what's happening, and all of a sudden we hear this. And we hear the fence rattling, and all of a sudden the bitch comes over the top of the fence, and she's on the top of the fence. That's my face.
Oh my God, that's freaking dope. And also,
And you're all sitting
Wait,
duck.
I should say she's like 5 foot tall, and this is probably a 7 foot privacy fence. Around. It's like I don't. We're just
Wait,
like,
please
what's
tell.
going on?
Please tell me that you do Foley work for your day job.
I'm an occupational therapist, so I make people
Close
feel
enough.
good unless I'm beating them. So anyway.
So you guys are sitting ducks inside the hot tub.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, well, we're not in the hot tub. So she falls off the top of the fence.
But it's okay since she's part predator.
Well, yes, clearly. And she gets upset, screams many things, and she grabs the bleach and she starts throwing it at Derek.
Wait,
and
Where did the bleach come from?
I don't know. It just showed up. So
She's got
Hey,
hot
wait.
tubs and bleach.
Hey, Derek. What do you want me to do with this bleach?
hot
just-
tubs
hey,
take
just-
maintenance.
A cop and my college roommate are in a hot tub, but damn it, it's still not wide enough.
So she starts dumping the bleach in the hot tub, and Derek loses his mind, and he grabs her.
The
and he's
pH
like,
levels.
Exactly. It's like, what? Anyway, so he starts pushing her out, and I get uncomfortable with it because it was too rough for a girl. So I'm
The
like,
second time.
The second time. I didn't get I was getting my Mac on the first time.
Yeah, fool her once, shame on him. Fool her twice.
All right, so this guy that you're macking with, like, what's his response? Is he like, let's get out of here and let's work him out, or is he like running and hiding?
Well, honestly, I think he followed the pussy wherever the pussy went. So I said,
wait,
go
who?
outside and let's deal with this. So he
Okay.
followed.
I like how you referred to yourself as the pussy.
Well,
We somehow haven't said the most misogynist thing on the show.
It's been euphemisms up until now,
Right.
until you just started describing yourself.
The gloves are
The
off.
pussy.
I had my feminist.
Well, that's a weird
agenda.
business card for an occupational therapist.
I told you I make people feel good for a living. Anyway, so I step in, and so my whole life I want to be Wonder Woman, and I want to be like Supergirl.
But she's the one jumping over a 7-foot fence.
No shit. But I am actually Bruce Banner because the girl hit me in the head, and then shit got real.
Wait.
That's
Back
not
up,
how Bruce Banner works at all.
back up. So you went outside.
No, we're in the garage.
Oh, you're in the garage.
Derek moves her to the garage, and Derek's
He took her from the backyard to put her near his cars?
Yes.
He's trying to restrain her.
I scream at him, and I'm like, I get him off of her, and so I step in front of him.
So there's you're thinking they're going to get into a dangerous situation.
Yeah, well, I thought he was going to hurt her, so I step in, and I start kind of hustling her out, and then she hits me in the head. And
Uh-oh.
Things.
I remember that issue of the Hulk.
Yes. So I grab her, and I kind of start punching, and I'm in a bikini, so her defense is...
So both the guys pull out their phones.
Well, yes. So
Now play like y'all making out.
Jennifer and the pussy at it again.
Yes. So her only defense is she's like grabbing at my body, and as she's
I'm gonna
grabbing-
beat you like a fence.
Yes, she did climb me
She
like
said
a
that?
fence.
Oh, okay.
But
I
in
thought you said
that
that.
process, she rips my swimsuit's top
Boy.
off. So I'm like full titties, and then she gets a hold of my hair, and we fall in the grass. We made it out to the grass.
Into a big tub of oil, of course.
This was going to be our most. This is going to be our most Googleable episode ever.
Then she started throwing Jello shots at me.
We're not gonna win. We're not gonna win the SEO battle for pussy shows her titties in a girl fight.
Yes.
I'm sure we're gonna be like page 100.
Oh man,
Yes.
this meta description is gonna be off the chain.
So we're on the ground, and I grab her, and I start squeezing her eyes, and I scream out, "I'm gonna pop your fucking eyes out!" And then all of a sudden, like, it goes out into the universe, and it comes back into my ears, and I'm like, "We're gonna pop this girl's eyes out."
So now you kind of have to,
So
right?
then, well, you know what I think about Inside Out, that Pixar movie with, I see this, really angry Louis Black Cindy, I'm going to take this bitch's eyes. And then there's, joyful, Amy Poehler Cindy, and scared as shit, Bill Hader Cindy going, no, Cindy, we only take eyes out for the rapings and the killing. We don't do it for trifling, jealous bitches. We do not do that. No. That has a purpose.
I was wondering where that analogy was going, and then it stuck the landing.
Then there's this hot Cindy. We're on top of a woman right now. All of you under Cindy, shut the fuck up.
So it dawns on me that, hey, you might go to prison, and prison's bad. They rape you with broomsticks. I saw a movie.
Can you read that?
I saw a movie, and no, Mom was a little too early for that movie, but it left an impact. I never wanted to go to prison. So I realized that popping the lady's eyes
The movie
out
was
is
Steel
not the way you wanna
Magnolias.
go.
I don't know if you've... Steel Magnolias 2.
Steel Magnolias too,
The
yes.
fucking. Sorry.
Weezer and the pussy.
Did you say easel?
Weezer.
Oh, weasel.
I heard
Sorry.
weasel. I
No,
was like,
weasel.
I don't know what
Okay,
it means.
am I the only one here who's actually watched Steel Magnolias?
No.
I mean, watched it.
Lisa, yes.
I only remember when they gave that girl the orange juice, and that was it.
Oh.
That's all I remember.
Oh.
No, I love Weezer.
I've seen half of Magnolia.
And I've seen the other half of the movie Steel with Shaquille O'Neal. So basically, we've seen the entire movie.
That's basically it. So anyway,
Shaquille O'Neal dies and it rains frogs. Sorry, that's only a joke you get if you have seen all three movies. That's the weirdest movie night in the world. So go on.
well, so it registers that popping a girl's eyes out is probably not a good thing to do. So
So you'll fight a bitch, but you won't do that?
No.
Nice.
You
No,
meatloafed her.
Yeah, I did.
Ain't no doubt about it.
So I just spread my arms out and told her I wasn't going to fight anymore. And then, of course,
That's important to make yourself appear big.
Well, I was on the ground, so it was more like a snowman. And I screamed to get her off me, and she wouldn't get off me. And finally, they broke us up, and that really
Yeah,
is it.
finally. They're like,
You two have been fighting for an hour and a half.
Get off your chest and roll over onto your back for a minute. This might be a better
The minute you said I'm going to pop your eyes out, they're like, this is officially a weird boner that I have.
he's like, I'm going to pop her eyes out. And then they're like putting the lid back on the oil. They're like, damn it, it's not brown.
You've been fighting long enough for them to set up 3 cameras. they actually slayed it.
It did make the other man excited because when we were
Really?
all
Wow. Get out of town. Are you serious?
But the
Ah,
poor guy, like, he was
what an
like,
outlier.
oh, yeah, at the end of it, like, she leaves, and then, like, it's just me and this guy, and he's, like, doing that, hand on you, like, babe. let's
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
No, I
Let's
was
form the
just
clan
like,
cave bear with
and
this
I'm like,
badass
no,
bitch.
I'm like, no, you need to take that. No.
I need it.
That's
Yeah.
what you told him you need to take that?
You need,
Like
to
put
take,
it
you need to take this hand and put it on your dick and
Oh,
take
the
care of your
hand.
own thing because I don't want it.
Oh, he still did that probably.
Oh, he probably did.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
As soon as I was asleep. I mean, what rocked me to sleep, right? I don't know.
We're just going to let that one hang there for a minute.
So that's basically it. Although Derek is a cop.
Still?
Yes.
Is he a cop here in St. Louis?
No.
Oh, yes, he is. I'm sorry.
And we did get, like, the next day I went to the Shed Aquarium, like a
Oh, okay.
a welterweight goes to the Shed Aquarium the next day.
Not really, but go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, like,
Wait, went to the what? I'm sorry. I
Shed
didn't-
Aquarium in Chicago.
Okay.
it's
I thought you said shedatorium.
That too.
I thought it was just some sort of fitness term I didn't know. I am like, do I pretend like I know what this is?
And so when we get back, he gets called in by his supervisors because the girl goes to the police and says that Derek beats her up, and so we get called in, and the police is talking to me, and I'm telling them about how she was being crazy, and they're like, well, did Derek touch her? And I'm like, well, not really. He pushed her around, and they're like, well, she had some serious black eyes, and I was like,
Uh-oh.
no, I was all like, oh, well, she fell on the ground. I don't know.
Although when you fill out a police report for a cop beating a woman, that's like a pre-checked box.
I
She
know.
just fell.
She fell. She fell against that wall.
She fell to these.
And much like every story where a cop is being questioned, nothing ever came of it.
Oh.
Yeah, there it is. Social commentary.
Name of that story, Blue Balls Matter.
Hey!
Get up for Cindy, everybody.
That's great.
That was a great story.
That was great.
Thank you for telling that.
Bring your Chris back up here.
Too hot for podcasts, right? Right.
That was
No-
racy.
Yeah, no fight I have ever had has ever been anywhere near that erotic. Not even when I take off my shirt.
What are you looking at?
You want to go?
Your next storyteller, a very funny comedian from right here in Louisville. Put your hands together for Sean Smith, everybody.
Hey!
Thanks for being here.
Wearing a Muhammad Ali shirt, which I will interject right here at the Muhammad Ali Museum. Muhammad Ali fidget spinners.
Yeah.
Which is mean.
Yeah.
We tried so hard for him not to say that.
Nope. I wanted that recorded for all time while it's fresh.
Also, no Muhammad Ali statue at the Muhammad Ali Museum. We were trying to find one to take a dumb picture, and we couldn't find one.
No, I think it's against his religion.
It is?
Yeah. I mean,
Photography?
Yeah, you can't. You're not supposed to have idols of you.
For real?
But having his likeness painted on a horse statue is okay. Like, I thought that was strange. I was like,
what?
there's a horse statue right
It is.
inside the museum, and there's a picture of him, and it looks like he's fighting like Von Kaiser from the original Punch-Out.
I can't picture that. I don't know.
I couldn't either till I saw it.
Never in a million years. Like, I couldn't have dreamt that. And I'm like, well, that's a thing that exists in the world.
It is weird.
Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's okay. I couldn't figure out which story to tell, so
Tell them all.
I'm
Here we
going with
go.
this one. This is actually more of a dust-up than a fight. And I've never actually been in a fight. All of my dust-ups were the ones I was considering. So this one, I was in Miami for spring break, and I went with a group of girls that we were friends with in college.
Now you're just bragging. All right.
I was about to say, story over. Thank you. Sean Smith. It was like I went on spring break with girls in Miami. It's like, that's
All
it.
right. Well, you're cool. We get it.
Everyone on this panel can relate, right?
So it was 3 guys and 3 girls. So it wasn't just me. So we're there.
You replaced spring break with Comic-Con. That's our last weekend. And girls with Ewoks.
So
I know, this is distracting.
It's okay. It's all right. I was out. We went to Senior Frogs, and I remember this is still when what's the bongos? What's the name of the
Donkey Konga?
Girls Gone Wild?
Okay.
Close. Yeah.
Wait. The thing with the bongos. Girls Gone
I
Wild.
couldn't remember what it was called. So Girls Gone Wild was
I believe those were steel drums and not.
Yes, steel drums.
It's when I Love Lucy was still in the air. Anybody remember that?
I just want to point out how distressing it was that the white guy on stage knew what steel drums sounded like.
Too.
Wait, what do you classify me as?
I'm whiter than you.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, time for a white off. Let's go. What's your favorite LL Bean? Let's go.
Quick, everybody pose for a catalog looking over a mountain. Audience decides.
Let me see a curated playlist. Go. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we're there, and Girls Gone Wild does this thing where they're filming, and then all of a sudden they span the ground, and everybody drops because they don't want to be on camera. So everybody's trying to get out of there.
I really like to hear that, actually.
Yeah.
That actually gives me, like, faith that we're going to get through this administration.
So
most people have the sense to just hit the ground.
yeah, nobody really wanted to be on it. So we split up. The girls went to one club, and we went to another club. And while we're at this other club, I got a call from one of the girls, and they were like, somebody drugged one of the girls that were in the group with us.
No.
So then all the guys are on this mission now to get to the other club. So we're hurrying to get to the other club. We finally get to the other club, and the girl she was hanging out with some guy, gave her a drink, he put something in her drink, and so when I come in, I am not the fighter of my group, but for whatever reason, the girls at that point in time decided that Sean was the fighter of the group. So they were like, it's him. You have to go over there and talk to him. And I'm like, I don't know what to say. Like, let's just get out of here. You know, I'm still thinking rationally.
Can I send him an angry text?
Yeah.
Here's what I don't get about slipping drugs to women. Like, why can't you just be like, would you like some drugs?
I would imagine because the answer
Because
is
we're
usually
pieces
no.
of trash. That's why. Yes, I would.
But when the answer is yes,
It works.
that's the one you want.
Yeah. She's a keeper.
All of this is wrong, listeners of this podcast.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Roofie the one whose heart is in it.
I'm abstaining from any comment about this. I got a job. Like,
Thank
come
you
on.
all for attending the last episode of Sorry, Please Continue. Ever.
It died in Louisville. What that gypsy predicted.
We have mentioned a gypsy curse every night of this tour.
Literally every
We've been on
night.
tour for 5 days. Gypsy reference every day.
Wonderful.
All right, so you're about to fight this guy, or at least being
well-
encouraged by a group of women to fight this
Yeah,
guy.
so it's that thing of where, like, you all of a sudden feel like you have to defend the honor even if you don't want to. So they are like, it's him, you have to talk to him, go talk to him. So I'm like, all right. So I go over to the guy and I'm like, hey, man, did you put something in her drink? And
I mean, they're just saying that you did it.
yeah,
I don't
that's-
believe it,
that's
though.
really-
I
that's
don't-
it. That's why I was like, look, man, did you do it? And he was like, no, I didn't. I was like, yeah, you fucking did it. Like, yes, you did.
That's Columbo's move.
Right.
He did it. He Columboed him. One more thing.
I did. I Columboed him. I did. So, as I'm talking to this guy, my friend who is not very athletic and has never thrown anything in her life has a glass with a bunch of ice in it and throws it left-handed, and I see it in slow motion come like out of sight and just slowly land right on this guy's head, right? So he's looks at the girl behind me and was like, you fucking threw a glass at my head. Bitch, I'm gonna kill you. So now I'm between her and him, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to fight this dude. Like now I have to fight him, right? So she's talking all type of mad shit. Like she's like, you shut the fuck up. You did this. You put this. Blah, blah. So they're going crazy. He pushes me, and then I'm like, all right.
You seem
Here
remarkably
we go.
calm about all of this.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I am. So like, I'm like, all right. So,
Which is weird that you're the one that they
Right,
tapped to
no,
fight.
don't pick me.
They're like, let's go kick this guy's ass. All right.
yeah, it's kind of. So at this point, I'm like, I follow. He tries to run out, and I follow him out. And at this point, I'm like, kind of getting hyped up, and I realize that we're being surrounded. Like there's a bunch of people surrounding us right now. I blank out for, I guess, like the crowd's energy gets me hyped up, and I blank out. When I come
And
back,
Ignition remix.
Oh, man.
I
sorry,
come
that's my
back,
favorite
he's
song.
got two friends who are flanking him with knives. There is a,
Flanking him with knives?
with knives.
Wait, they're
It's
like,
outside of a bar in Miami. I had no idea where I was at. My
Yeah.
surroundings are just lost.
This doesn't sound like the Miami the Fresh Prince sung about at all.
This sounds more like CSI Miami.
It's very close.
I guess this guy got the point.
who are you?
We also get sued by CBS in this episode. as
I'm
well.
taking
Go
you
ahead.
guys
Sorry.
down and
No song licensing for this podcast.
So my friend is pulled up in a car right behind me saying, like, yelling my name, Sean, get in the car, get in the car. And I come out of my let's go, bro, fight mode thing that I was in. And I'm like, actually that makes a lot of sense. So then
It wasn't the same friend that threw the glass, was it?
No. She's still out at the club, like, yelling and screaming. So then I grab her, throw her in the car. We're all in the car riding off and get back to the hotel. And I'm thinking, like, man, that's really crazy. And then we were like, wait a second, where's Kevin? And we realized that my friend, Kevin, decided that he didn't like the way shit went down, so he was going to dress up in all black and walk back to the club to try to fight this dude.
So Kevin's the guy they should have got to fight in the first place.
Don't come to me when Kevin has to go in ninja mode to fight. He's not even.
Hey, guy wearing all blue camouflage in the summer in Miami. Move aside. You picking flowers. Come on.
I mean, what I've learned from this story is do a survey first.
Yeah.
See who wants to fight.
Yeah, usually.
Yes. And usually it's a guy named Kevin.
I guess the obvious question is, why did he bring all black to Miami?
I don't know. That's a very good question.
Oh, by the way, guys, I have this.
Karate Kid Part 5. Gonna happen.
This is Kevin's time.
It was really hard to find. So it's nighttime. So then we're out in the car driving around trying to find Kevin.
Who's dressed in black, by the way?
Who's dressed in black.
Okay.
There's like, I don't know if anybody's here ever been to Miami, but there's like dudes on the corner with snakes just on their shoulders hanging out. And we're like, have you seen Kevin? And they're like, they can't speak
I've never been to
English.
Miami, but I have been to a magic show. So it's kind of
Similar.
the same thing. Right?
Larger scale magic show.
Yeah, I feel you.
So we actually get to the club. Kevin's in the club trying to find this guy dressed in all black. They let him in.
Just in all black. Nobody's saying anything.
Right.
$10 said he didn't have to pay a cover because he just snuck in.
Yeah. He's just hovering in the corner in the ceiling, waiting to pounce.
Like perched up in the top, like.
All I can think about is the Predator.
Predator
Go
2.
infrared. So yeah, we finally got to the club. He's in the club. The guy had already left the club, thank goodness. And so we got Kevin and went back to take care of the girl who was seeing colors and throwing up.
So you were at this club, and Kevin's in there dressed in all black, totally normal, right? And you find Kevin, and you walk him calmly out of the bar, and he's dressed in all black.
Yeah,
and
with a hoodie.
nobody did anything. Like, this is completely normal. This happens all the time in the land of sun. I don't know what you call it, Miami, but
That's how it happened that night. I don't know.
The land of the rising sun, as it turns out. That's
Yeah.
he should have dressed up as a stormtrooper. That's what I would have done, right?
He could have.
FYI, I've never been in a fight, so.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
Right
so the girl who got drugged is okay at the end of this story.
Yes, she is okay. She survived. Everything was fine. She just threw
Guys,
up a
I
whole
wasn't
lot.
drugged. I just took too much NyQuil.
I just passed out when I saw a ninja. Made my head all swoopy.
And what happened to Kevin? Is he?
He's still crazy, but he's okay too.
He's a Navy SEAL now.
He never found the guy. If he found the guy, it probably would have been pretty bad because I know
Because he had a samurai sword.
Kind of. He had like this really, like those ridiculous long knives.
I was joking.
He's about to tell us that Kevin had a ridiculously long
He had
knife.
the long knife, like you see on Amazon, like also buys, and you're like, who
Right.
would get that? He got that.
So if you're Crocodile Dundee and somebody tries
This
to
is a
mug
knife.
you, he gets the opportunity to be like,
Yes.
this is a knife.
Exactly. Yeah. So he had that on him. How he got in the club, I don't even know. I mean,
Just went up to the
nobody
bouncer
cared.
and threw down some smoke bombs.
The bouncer probably looked at him and was like, "No, you're not getting laid. Come on in."
Have you not seen American Ninja Warrior? He just like ran up the wall over the bouncer.
How did he get over the moat?
He floated like in Hitting Tiger. I would not.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden
Thank
Dragon.
you.
There
That's
it
the
is,
name.
Filmed right here in Louisville. I don't know.
that's it. That's
Sean, put it up for Sean, everybody.
We got one more storyteller.
We have one more storyteller.
Then let's get Jeremy back up here.
Yeah. Jeremy's coming back up for our last storyteller, who I met about 3 years ago at the Accidental Comedy Festival in Cleveland, Ohio, and she is a hilarious Louisville comedian. Put your hands together for Kate Sedgewick, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Kate.
Hey.
How are you?
Fine. How are y'all doing?
Oh, man.
Pretty good.
It's been a long 4 days on the road, but we are excited to hear your story.
Cool. All
Great.
right.
So jump on in.
Okay. Well, when I was in my early 20s, I was drunk like a lot of the time, and I was pretty out of control. My parents really tried to keep me out of the institution, but I was psychotic quite frequently, and so a bunch of punks decided to go up to Cincinnati for this house show. and the house show's like in a basement, and like this guy was driving, and I kind of had a crush on him, but he was a total douche. So like when we first got
Those
in
are
the
the
car,
kind of guys that have crushes put on them by other women.
By the way, the intro to this story had like 7 red flags in it. It was just like punk show, basement, douche. Like, oh my God, this is going to end poorly.
So we go up to Cincinnati, we go to these people's apartment, and then we walk over to this house show. And I'm getting drunker. Like, I think I was drinking a 40 or something. I was probably on my second 40 by the time.
You should never be able to say that about one night.
So by the time the show ended, I was fucking plastered probably or whatever. So I'd been out in the backyard talking to all these people, and like the party was over. But some people were up there like playing some instruments or whatever, and I was like, I want to sing, and I was being really obnoxious and loud. And then there was this chick that was, I don't know, she might have even been underage, you know? I think that was part of it, like she was a runaway and no one was going to call the cops on her or whatever. So
I love how the kind of people that hang out in like DIY basement punk shows, they say sentences like that like it's normal.
You know, Jane hopped off the train with scabies. Like, it's no big deal.
Right.
It's like when you're hanging out with someone and they mention that they haven't eaten since yesterday because they're doing coke all night, and you're like, we've been having a whole conversation. How did I not know this about you?
So I, at the time, like, I had a mohawk, and I would also had, like, a purse that I was wearing that was, like, had a long strap, so it was, like, a crossbody purse, so I'm kind of wearing my purse. And I'm sitting on this
like
couch.
most purses are worn, right, with the strap. I got
Well,
you.
I mean, like, across my body, right?
Okay,
So
okay.
that it was, like, just, well, anyway, just because. And so then this chick starts getting in my face. And
Wait
she's
a minute,
like,
wait.
really...
Was there a hot tub involved at all?
No, not at all. Not
Do
at
you
all.
feel like she was meatloafing you at all?
Not at all.
Did anybody get meatloaf that night?
I'm trying to incorporate everything I learned tonight. This is the final.
So I'm sitting on this couch, and she's, like, arguing with me. She's standing in front of me. And then she starts to get in my face. She's, like, getting down, you know, so we're, like, eye level. She says some really shitty thing to me.
Phantom Menace was shit. What are you going to do?
I don't remember.
What are you going to do?
I
Jar
don't-
Jar Binks, the best thing ever. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So you don't remember what you were arguing about?
She just hated me, and she was telling me to shut up, and I was like, fuck you, you know, who the fuck do you know, just dumb shit like that.
So wait, were you being loud when she was telling you to shut up?
Yeah, like, we were arguing back and forth at a certain point.
I remember when William F. Buckley and James Baldwin had this same debate at Oxford. It was great.
Did any of y'all say I'm not your Negro at any point at all? No? Okay.
Hard pass on that joke.
Definitely not.
Well, I
don't
was gonna let
remember-
that hang there for a second.
That was
Back
for
away.
me. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just like really being obnoxious, and most people's reaction to that is just kind of stare at me and be like, oh God, this person. Eventually someone would kick me out. That's the kind of person that I was being when I was drunk like that. So this chick was just reacting to it. She's like, I'm the one that's the obnoxious asshole here, you know? And then she decided she wanted to get in a fight with me. So then I'm sitting on this like couch, and she's down in my face, and she said something, and I just got mad, and this is the dumbest thing I could have done, but I was sitting on a couch, and I punched her while I was sitting down, right? So then immediately...
you threw the weight of just 1/8 of your body at her.
So she immediately jumped on top of me. And then she like straddled me, and so that my arms were pinned with her legs.
Oh.
Man, I'm
And
not going to
then-
lie. These are some of the hottest stories we've ever had. on this goddamn show. Holy shit. What are you people doing?
She started...
What? Wait, we should have named this show Caged Heat.
We should have named this show Basic Cable after 12 a.m. This show's now called Cinemax.
Louisville Skinemax.
Squiggle vision.
This good thing we get to charge $19.99 for this episode.
She started scratching at my eyes with her thumbs, right?
See, that's how you do it. That's how it's done.
The other story I had involved someone getting hit in the forehead with a highball glass, too. So I was just like,
Oh,
well,
man.
you know, who knows? Like, I'm gonna be repeating something on this show for sure. so
There's
like,
so many ways to fight.
I'm just like, what the fuck? Somebody get her off me. Like, just because there were a bunch of people there and they were just watching this happen, right? And so I was trying to, like,
Did anybody yell World Star?
Because, like, I'm on my back and I'm trying to kick her in the back of the head, but I can't reach, you know? Because she's leaning over me, so I would literally have to be able to kick myself in the face to be able to kick her in the head, right?
Wait, I'm trying to think of this logistically. So you're on a couch, and she has her
I'm on a couch. I'm on my back.
Oh, okay, so you're on your back. I thought you were sitting up, and she somehow had your...
She pounced on me and pushed me down.
Oh, okay.
She had... Yeah,
So
I
you tried to do a all the way around curving kick to the back of the head, like the path of most resistance is what you're trying to do. You're Stretch Armstrong, Captain Fantastic.
Would you also say her shirt was kind of coming up a little bit?
No.
Little beads of sweat on her side, you know.
God, you have a long ride back to St. Louis. Just
Yes,
stop
I
at
do.
one Lion's Den. That'll cure this.
They don't have him in that direction.
Yeah.
So eventually they kind of dragged her off of me, and I got out of there, but my jacket was in some closet somewhere in this house. So I'm out on the sidewalk.
Or all of Cincinnati, by the sounds of it.
So I'm out on the sidewalk, and I see someone I know, and I'm like, can you go in there and see if you can find my jacket? Because I didn't want to lose my leather jacket. And they were like, yeah, I'll go in there. And then I'm standing there waiting for them, and this chick comes running out of the house, and she's like, "Ah!" And she jumps on me.
He fought Ronnie James Dio.
What?
He fought Ronnie James Dio. Is that his name? I guessed that. I totally guessed that.
I assume she went to one of the finest finishing schools on the East Coast.
So she knocks me down onto the sidewalk, and the same fucking thing. She's got my arms under her legs, but now
She's got one move, but it's effective.
She's grabbing my mohawk and beating my head on the pavement, right?
That's not hot at all.
And then I was just like I was so mad. I was like frothing, and also I think like I was kind of concussed at this point. I was just like, fuck you! Ah! You know, like, so then eventually I just left, and then I was stranded in Cincinnati.
Wait, how did you just leave? She just... Wait,
They got
eventually...
her, I think they pulled her off of me again.
Okay.
Like,
I thought you were like, I'm tired of my head hitting
And
the
then-
ground.
and then
I'm
they
just
were-
going to roll over and just walk home.
so yeah, they got her. I think they got her off of me or something. I don't really remember how that stopped.
Yeah, cut her some slack.
You
Cut her
totally
some
should
slack.
not remember what happened. You had your head beat up against the sidewalk.
Did you hear about
Yeah.
the CTE study that just came out from the NFL?
Oh, I have so many weird head injuries. Like that's.
You should look into it.
I feel like this story is allowed to have gaps. Like, we can
It
let
is,
that...
yes. Yes.
It's just like,
We'll-
you're allowed to just be like, and then I was here, and I don't know how.
Yeah, like I was cold and I couldn't find my jacket. I went back to the place where we met these people in the apartment, and I like sneaked into the building, and the person who answered the door was like, "Get out of here, go away." And I was like, "Well, I don't know how I'm gonna get back to Louisville, you know."
Also, why are you wearing all black? You must be the guy from the other story.
So like at a certain point, like I was hiding under a bush in a park, like I didn't know what to do, and I was cold and stuff. And so, but then I called information because I remember I had this friend in Fort Thomas, which isn't very far away in Kentucky, and like I called, and his mom gave me his new phone number, and I called him, and then he drove me to the Greyhound station. And he had heated seats in his car, and I like took my antipsychotic. That's why I mentioned the purse, because the whole time I had my fucking purse on.
Nice.
Like,
Okay.
I got the shit beat out of me, but my purse was still on my body, and so at least I had that. And, yeah, I lost my jacket, but...
How was that conversation with that dude's mom?
I waited until it started to get light, and I was just like, do you have Dana's phone number? Talk to her for a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't download that entire story on her. It's like, oh, it's Sunday. I just got done with tea. What happened at this DIY show? Holy shit.
So did you ever get that jacket back?
Never got it back.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that wasn't the only leather jacket that I lost. That was just one time I lost one of my jackets.
You're just losing leather jackets left and right?
That was I had a mental breakdown and I abandoned my jacket in this place I broke into that turned out to belong to a church.
Okay.
I want context for that one.
Maybe some other time.
Put your hands together for Kate, everybody.
Hey!
Thanks.
Oh my gosh, these were great stories, by the way.
These are amazing.
These were fantastic.
This is so much. This is the most fun I've had with the sun out in a long time. Like honestly, this was great. Give it up for your storytellers that you heard tonight, by the way. This is. So, in case we've been on tour for the past 4 days. We've hit several cities and we've had a ton of amazing storytellers. So I encourage you, if you guys want to hear any of these past episodes that we've done, we've had some great people on the show over the course of the past. Like we were at Nerd Melt in LA last year, Union Hall in New York. We've had great people on the show, and so if you want to find it, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play, anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Also, sorrypleasecontinue.com. And keep supporting comedy in Louisville. This was amazing. Thank you so much.
And let's get up for
Thank you.
Let's get up for Dan. Dan helped us put this whole thing together.
Yeah, thank you. One more time today. And for Tim, who's not up here, but
Yeah, it's good for Tim.
yeah, and guys, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks. Have a great night.
Hey.